Hey everybody, Richard Maxwell here. It's the Arcadia High School Creative Musical Arts and Sciences program's weekly podcast, and we are, I cannot believe this, at the last week of the school year. This is our final episode of the school year. It's been an amazing first year with this podcast. A lot of students have done a lot of work to make it happen throughout the entire program. I do want to absolutely recognize Lily Trudeau, who has been kind of through all of it. A major.
He's actually nice to me.
I know, and the funny part is you can't be on camera to acknowledge it, which is entertaining. I'm just saying. No. And I'm always nice to you. No, the truth is there's been this is something we're going to kind of explore in next year's season, if you will. There has been a really amazing growth this year. There's a couple folks in the room with me now, Cal, Kelly, Lily. But they are all three really great, and not the only, but really great examples of what I'm talking about. Things this year have just gone so unbelievably well, with so many people accomplishing so much. I want a special shout out to all the seniors who are graduating. Nobody has to be in this program, and they come back every year and do these amazing things, and it's great to see them grow and continue, and they're all going on to some wonderful stuff. But congratulations to Gabe and to James and to Maddie in particular, who received our CMAS Students of the Year, the senior awards for that. That's as close as we'll ever get to a CMAS award, but it is what it is because the district makes us do it. But everybody who's involved in the program, as far as I'm concerned, is amazing and wonderful, and I appreciate every single one of them. It's been an awesome year. We've got a great episode. We've got a teacher on this one. We've got a CMAS alumni, alumni's plural, on this one, and a lot of great stuff. Thank you, everybody, for all the stuff you've done in supporting these students and this program, and we hope you enjoy this last episode of the year, and we will see you again in August. Danny Felix, my man, how you doing?
I just feel happy to be here after so long.
We figured what it was 14 years?
14 years.
14 years.
I didn't even want to say the number, but
No,
14 years.
It makes you feel better. I've been here
makes me,
26, 25.
26. Wow.
Actually, that's how many it's been. I don't even know anymore. That's how that is.
26 years.
I do want to
Time
thank
flies.
Michael and Gabe and Wes for, and actually also Peyton, who came in to help set up and run this. This is our podcast. This is new. So when you were here,
we didn't have it.
Yeah. We had. I'm trying to remember what this room would have been when you were here.
It was like a recording room.
Was it a recording room?
It was a
Okay,
recording
I can't
room.
even remember.
I would actually record in this room a lot.
Okay.
Actually.
That's right. We had computers lined up.
You had like a bunch of little desks.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. And then we kind of stretched it out a little bit.
You had a little MIDI, like a keyboard.
Yeah.
And then I think back then we had the iMacs.
Yeah. The old. In fact,
yeah.
actually, to be honest with you, the newer ones, like the one that's in here, the two in this room,
Yeah.
we just got those. That's the
Nice.
first computer upgrade we'd had
Since then?
Wow. So we were like on like Stone Age kind of stuff
Wow.
for a while, yeah.
Wow.
But you've since, obviously you graduated, you've done some pretty, like, can you give us what's the journey been?
Journey? Well, I mean, you know me, I was kind of, most of the time, I was always just jamming out. That's always been my thing, music, since I was 10.
Right.
And
you started with your family,
with
right?
my dad and brother. They're the ones that showed me the ways, basically. And then, that's why when I came to CMAS, it was really normal for me.
Okay.
It was really normal. It was hard at times because, as you know, I have ADHD and stuff, and it was hard for me to pay attention at sometimes. But the whole jamming out.
That's so weird because that wasn't my perception of it.
I mean, I was mainly my thing was jamming out with people.
Right,
That's
right,
what
right.
I would love to come to school
Right.
for, basically, to just jam out.
And I know we talked about this when you would come in, but like I have these very vivid recollections of you, and one of them was you were always like you were just the guy that it really didn't matter what the style was.
Yeah.
You would just be like, yeah, sure. What's the worst thing that could happen? And you would just go and
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, like I would play with everybody,
Right.
Rock, country. I think sometimes I would be even doing blues.
Yeah.
You know, so
Right. But usually acoustic. Like I
it was always acoustic.
Didn't we try an electric one
Yeah.
day and you did it and you were like, I don't really like this.
I did. I mean, no, I did do it a couple times. There's actually pictures from songwriter night that I have with Jordan Tang.
Yeah.
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 I don't remember the other dude that would play bass.
Right.
He would always play like a fretless bass. I don't remember his name.
Oh, was that Jacob? No.
No. It was another dude, but he was really good. Forgot his name.
I'm trying to think of who that would have been back then.
No.
Okay, that's embarrassing. Whoever you are,
Whoever
I apologize.
you are.
I feel
Comment.
Yeah, really. Tell
Yeah.
me. I can't remember. I feel so bad.
But he was really good.
Jack McClellan. It was Jack
It
McClellan.
was Jack.
Who's got? I think he's got a band. I think it's called Call It Mango.
Really? I'll have to check him out.
Yeah, they do all kinds of stuff now.
I have to check him out.
Yeah.
He was really
Jack
good.
Had that fretless. Yes.
Yep.
Actually,
he had a Warwick. I even remember.
yes, he did.
A fretless Warwick.
And I always felt guilty because for the longest time, I took a sample of him sound checking one night, and I deliberately I just destroyed the dynamic levels, and then I would give it to students as they would have to recompress it to try to level it back out, but it was impossible because I had a 24 decibel swing. You were never going to be able to do it without distorting. But no, Jack was phenomenal.
Yeah, Jack was
all those
really
guys.
good.
That's really cool. So okay, so you go through CMAS and you were brilliant.
Thank you.
I've told you this before, but it's not really entirely surprising that you're doing what you're doing now because it was kind of staring us all in the face.
Yeah.
But so you graduate, and I know you've worked your tail off. Nothing's come easy for you. You haven't been given anything. But
I even took a break from music, to be honest. I graduated. I took probably a 2-year break.
Okay.
I even got a little job. I was working at Papa John's.
Okay.
And then I started gigging again, and I just got the love for it again. I started meeting new people.
Mm-hmm.
I was still with my dad
Okay.
at the time, and then I finally was like, "Yo, I'm gonna start my own thing."
Okay.
I got my own musicians that went on for about 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
3 to 4 years, and then you know how it is in the bands. A lot of different ways of thinking, and they went their separate ways, and I stayed solo for a bit, and then that's when I went to LA for a production. Because I got known for being a producer.
Okay.
I got known for being a producer, and that's basically what changed my life. It's been I want to say it's been 5-6 years since then. Probably 5 years.
Okay.
Because it was right before COVID.
So, okay, and you got to forget. The music scene is such a mess in all contexts.
Yeah.
But obviously, you've had a lot of different crossover cultural elements involved.
Definitely,
so, is that I want to think that Phoenix is a hub for that stuff, but I'm only saying that out of complete blind guessing.
Phoenix has always been a great market for Mexican regional music.
Okay.
Which is what I basically do, and but now it's crazy. You see 14-year-olds all the way to 30-year-olds, or even 50-year-olds just doing great. Playing at house parties, venues and stuff.
Right.
So, especially now, there's probably I want to say there's at least 50 bands here in Phoenix.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But it's all almost
not
on its
more.
own separate circuit, right?
Yeah, it's all in the.
I'm a little disappointed that I don't do anything of any significance, but I don't run into. I feel like I could be gigging, and I have been for the last year or so,
Yeah.
and I know you, but
barely started. Yeah. Again.
But the likelihood that we would cross paths, other than the fact that former student, now I'd like to think of us as friends.
Yeah.
But we would not have crossed normally.
Yeah.
We might as well have been in completely different universes.
Yeah.
That kind of bums me out a little bit because I feel like that was the thing that I always and there's a student now you met, Jared.
Yeah.
There's a few others I always liked the fact that you would come in and you would just be like, I do this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm cool if nobody else does it, but I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
But that influenced people. There was no way you could get away
Yeah,
from
that's
that.
crazy. I never thought that I was going to be such a big influence for these kids.
You have no idea.
And
oh my gosh.
and it's just, it's a blessing because this is still new to me,
Really?
I didn't even think that it was going to have this much of a impact in the industry, Now it's I basically created this new genre in regional Mexican, which is called corridos tumbados.
Okay.
Which I'm heard a lot of people have heard of. For example, like Peso Pluma, Natanael Cano, Junior H, which is these big. They're like the top dogs in regional Mexican right now.
Okay. And they're all basically coming from your idea.
From my idea.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
from my idea, basically. My way of playing. Before, it was really hard to mimic what I would do
Okay.
because it was so new. I'm talking about 2021,
Okay.
2020, 2021. Now I hear kids and I'm like, man, they pretty much studied me.
That's kind of.
Yeah, and they
I
know,
bet that feels good, but
yeah,
also
it
a
feels
little
great.
weird.
No, it feels great. It feels great. Honestly, I love it. I love it. It's because I started the same way with my favorite bands, and I feel like that's how we all start. Maybe these kids in 5-10 years, they're gonna come up with this new thing, and it's gonna be crazy, right?
So where like if I can ask, like, nothing happens in a vacuum, right? So,
Yeah.
like where did that come? Like where did the idea or the like?
Oh, it was crazy, man. I stopped playing bass for like 4 or 5 years, and I feel like the bass had a big impact in the style of the way of playing because I got in the studio, and since it was so long of me playing bass, I kind of picked up this new style out of nowhere,
Okay.
and I didn't even know, and
Interesting.
and then that's what made I
So
feel
it
like
literally was just, this sounds cool, I'm keeping it,
exactly.
even though you didn't maybe.
Yeah,
realize
because back then in regional Mexican, you would kind of mix the bass, kind of like a happy face, the subs and like a 10K type, and when I picked up the bass, it was like really MIDI.
Okay.
It was really MIDI, kind of like a Ken Smith
We're gonna
sound,
Keep going.
kind of like a Ken Smith sound.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And I just kept it. I just kept doing it,
Okay.
and that's the new sound now.
That's unreal. So literally, an accident essentially,
Yeah, accident,
or well, an unintended.
a preference.
Okay.
In the moment, I would
Okay.
say.
Wow.
In the moment.
So okay, so this catches on.
Yeah.
And then I know you've had a whole lot of people come through your studio.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if I start to name big artists that I worked with, that I produced songs for, there's Bad Bunny, Karol G, a bunch of big artists that
Right.
I didn't even think that they would pick up the phone
But
and call
they,
me.
but that's
Yeah,
But they
it's-
hear that sound and they're like, I want that.
I
on
want
my
that.
track.
Yeah, and they obviously they go into the credits, they see the name, and
Sure.
they find me on Instagram and stuff, and they're like, "Yo, let's hit up this dude, see what he does."
Cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what about like I know you've because you're still based out of here. You're in Tempe for the most part.
Yeah.
But I know you travel a ton. I know you. I mean,
Yeah.
even like it's funny because I'm thinking you're going like, well, I took a couple years. I'm like, yeah, but did you really? 'Cause
Yeah.
You know.
From gigging, I took like 3 years off. Like I said, I was doing it since I was 10
Right.
with my dad. So, I'm used to gigging 6 hours, 5 hours, and I was doing that as a kid,
Right.
So, growing up, I was obviously, I always knew what I wanted to do, which
Right.
was that, because it was so normal. I mean, if my dad would have done construction or landscaping, that's probably what I would have done.
Just because of all the time.
Just because of all the time,
That makes sense.
But music was just so normal to me, and
Right.
and
But the work ethic obviously got instilled because, and again, I mean, like I said, when you were like 15 hanging out in this place, it's not a surprise. Like
Yeah.
literally, and that's, I mean, congratulations on
thank you.
you've accomplished. But nobody who knew you back then would be like, really?
Yeah,
Danny? Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not, none of us are going to be shocked. I mean, it's just you were always like the guy
Yeah.
that you always did the 110%. That was just you. That was it.
Yeah, and musically, I would always get along with everybody. I don't know if you remember Addie.
Yeah.
Addie,
So she's actually
she's
with her
doing really
husband.
good. Yeah,
That Halcyon thing is
Halcyon
amazing.
thing. Yeah, they play really cool. You know.
Yeah.
And I think I even did a song with Addie at the time.
Yes, I think you did.
I think it was Addie. Yeah, and it's great.
That would be fun. I need to reach out to her.
You should.
That would be cool to get her and you there
Yeah.
at one time, like together.
Talk
that
about
would be
it.
that would be really.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would be crazy. I don't think we follow each other, but that would be crazy.
Totally,
she probably doesn't even know everything that I.
No, I yeah. Well, I mean, they're all. I mean, but you guys are. I mean, yeah. I talk. Like I said, I talk about you guys all the time because.
Yeah.
Well, and it's cool. I'm curious. So you've done a ton of production work. You've gigged. You've done a lot of writing and everything else. Do you have like a? This is my favorite part of it.
Okay.
Or is it more of like, today I'm doing this and tomorrow I'll do that, and you like the fact that it's different depending?
Now, I mean, this year I really wanted to focus on myself being as a solo artist type,
Okay.
And it's been going pretty good. But yeah, this year I really wanted to focus on that, and so when I go to the studio, I been doing a lot of recording for me, but I've been doing a lot of productions. Well, I took a break from this big artist that I told you, Nathaniel Cano. I barely started working with him again about a month and a half ago, and we just did a song with this big artist from Argentina.
Okay.
Biza Rap. He's like a DJ, but he's done songs with like Shakira, and he's huge over there. He's huge.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I was able to work on that song with him, so that was amazing. Yeah,
that's really really cool.
Yeah.
Anything like, I don't know, like do you have any? And it's fine if you know. I was just curious, like thinking back, like I have a couple of very fond memories of you here. Like I said, that one songwriter night where you just ripped. I mean, it was like nobody knew it was going to happen.
There's a lot of
the one outside. That one was funny too.
That one was fun too.
Well, the thing I remember about that was, so you and Jordan are out there. You guys are playing. It's going great. Everybody's like, "What's this?" Because it was in the early days. And,
it was so new.
And everybody was like, "What's happening?" There's a concert going on with a full giant. We have the giant sound system. We still have those PA. Actually, believe it or not. And I think we've swapped out the power amps a couple times, but we still have the cabinets and everything.
Yeah.
But I remember you guys are out there, and this was one of those, like, there's a million things that in hindsight I'm like, oh, yeah, got to remember never to do that again.
Yeah.
We had not figured out a cue to signal you guys for when, because if you remember, security was like, this is cool if you do this, but we don't want to have, I mean, because it's a school. So they were like, we don't want to have, like, when the bell rings, we don't have problems getting everybody out lunch and over.
Yeah. So we went over.
You guys went over, and we had no idea. And I remember I had to walk up, and I remember walking. You guys like, I'm really sorry. We gotta.
Yeah, we gotta cut it
while you're playing. I felt so bad. But, I mean,
it
was funny now.
Yeah, it was cool.
But at the time,
cool.
it was kind of crazy. But I mean, do you have any memories? It's okay.
I mean,
I'm not looking for.
I mean, I remember a lot of cool memories from songwriter night. I remember sometimes I didn't even have a ride, and I had to walk over here. But I was always like so happy to be here, and it was cool. Sometimes I would get a ride from like Tang or Dustin.
Yeah.
And really good memories. I have nothing but good memories.
I gotta ask, when did we lose the mohawk? Because that was like your thing.
That was my thing, dude. Mohawk and skinny jeans.
Yeah.
I probably lost it. Probably like 2 year after I graduated.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Well, I had the mohawk for a while.
Yes, you did. Yeah, in fact, I don't remember you not having it. In fact, when you graduated, you had it somehow under the thing.
Oh yeah,
the cap,
I put the cap, and then it was kind of like I had a unicorn.
Yeah,
I did that. I actually did that on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man, good
I want to ask you one other question real quick, and then I know you got stuff, and I want to keep it to you on, but I'm fascinated by what you've done. So, when you were here, I remember you did a little bit of singing, not a lot, but you did some.
Yeah.
Tons of guitar, mostly acoustic, but you could obviously play anything. You did some bass.
Mm-hmm.
But you play a lot of instruments.
Yeah, I play accordion.
I was gonna say I've
play
seen
accordion.
A bunch of that stuff.
I play a little bit of drums.
Okay.
I play the upright bass. There's this Mexican instrument called bajo quinto. I could play that too.
Okay. What is
bajo quinto? It's basically like a mixture between a guitar and a bass.
Okay.
It's
cool.
like a guitar.
That's cool.
But it's cool. It's different for sure. They use it a lot in like Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Like I'm sure you've seen like Selena and all those type of
okay,
bands
that kind of stuff. Okay.
over there in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they use it a lot in that genre.
Okay. Very, very cool. I was just wondering, like, is that again? Like, my gut says that's an influence from Dad, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I was just wondering.
All the instruments, or
well, yeah, or just like the comfort level. Like I said, I mean, there were a couple things about you. Zero ego.
Yeah.
Like the more you would accomplish, the lower your ego would go. It's crazy. Which.
And I would always,
God help the kids that are arrogant, because I'm always like, Danny's cool and chill. So what's wrong with you? I mean, I hate to say it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would always get along with everybody, and I always wanted to learn from everybody. So when I would see that somebody would play really good, I would always like go towards them and ask them for help, even if I already knew a lot.
Right.
But like for example, like Jordan showed me a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Addie showed me some cool chords.
Yes.
Dustin as well. So I felt like I learned a lot from people
Sure.
here.
I think they learned a lot from you too, though. I think that, and like that fearlessness you've had. Like I know we were talking about this earlier, but I remember several situations where most people would have been like, I don't know, but you would just be like,
yeah, it was weird because
we'll give it a shot.
They would always ask me for like, hey, can you help me with this? Can you play this song? And songwriter night, can you do? I don't know if you remember DJ Burton.
I totally remember DJ.
He was so funny, and the announcements
great.
And stuff.
Yeah.
So DJ, so I even came out in the announcements. I don't know if you remember. I ended up doing like 2 shows there.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cool too, and it was just fun, really fun.
It's so cool to see it all having like just.
Yeah, and it's like I was like telling you earlier. I wish I could have paid more attention, because I feel like I would have learned even more. But I feel like everything happens for a reason, and everything has every moment has its own timing, and I had graduated. Obviously, I matured a lot, growing up and stuff, and that's basically what made me go towards that path. But I learned a lot in CMAS. Sure. I did. I learned tons. A lot.
Well, that means a lot to
and thank you for that.
Nothing to thank me. I mean, I got to work with you for all those years. But I love seeing folks like yourself that have taken it in a whole new direction that I never would have. Like I said, no one's surprised. There's not a single person who knew you back then who's shocked. Yeah. There just isn't. But at the same time, to see what you've accomplished and what you're and doing it on your own terms.
Yeah.
And I mean this with all respect to anybody else, but like you're one of those people, and there's several of you, but like you're one of the folks that it's like you did the work. Like nobody gave you
what I have.
The career you got. I mean, you put yourself in those rooms. You figured out what you needed. I mean, that's amazing
and I learned
and
I learned over the years too, because back then I would record in Cubase, so even when I would record here in Pro Tools, it was still new to me too, so, and obviously I record in Pro Tools now over there in my studio and stuff,
right?
And so I had to learn all that too on my own, so sure. It's cool, it's great,
Well, I'm incredibly proud of you. I'm just grateful to see. I'm grateful I can call you friend now.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I love what you're doing. I'm so blown away by it. I'm excited for whatever comes next for you.
Thank you.
I can't wait. Is there anything on the horizon we should know about that's coming, or anything you're allowed to talk about? I get it if you've got
I mean,
NDAs and God knows what else.
You never know with me. You never know with me. It's just I'm so random that I could do a production for maybe a rock artist or a rap artist, and you just don't know. That's the beauty of making music.
That's fair. Well, on that note, my friend, thank you so much for being here. I'm so glad you're here. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Welcome back to another podcast episode, everybody. I'm your host, Lee True. We have a different segment today. We have, we're just doing an audio one as of request of our very special guest, Senior Johnson. Okay. So I'm just here to ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
This is really cool. We haven't done like a radio one. like ever. We always do video podcasts.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of radio.
You're a very big fan of radio.
Sure.
All right. So you heard it from the source. This is not me messing up because I didn't feel like putting up the cameras. Yeah. So a question for you I have is pretty basic. How long have you been teaching at Arcadia, and how did you start teaching?
So I've been teaching at Arcadia since, I want to say, 2018. Okay, so 2018-19 school year was my first year, I believe. And so I've been teaching here for, 6 years now?
6 years.
Yes, I want to say 6 years now. And yeah, it's been great. I taught at a school very similar to this one when I was in Baltimore. I taught in a public high school called Catonsville High School, which was to the south of Baltimore. And yeah, great colleagues. That was the heart of that school. That's the heart of this school. Or the colleagues, the students. It was in terms of the student population, it was diverse, just like here, very diverse.
What subject do you teach?
I teach Spanish.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, I teach Spanish, and I've always taught Spanish. I started my first gig, because this is CMAS, so I started my first gig at a private school that was known for lacrosse first and academics second. But I think that might have changed since I was there. But I was a teacher at Boys Latin School of Maryland, and I taught there for 5 years. And then after that, I moved on to public school. So once I felt like I knew enough, I moved on. So.
Alrighty, so now onto the music. Fun fact, you have a dog named Stevie Nicks, right?
I do have a dog named Stevie Nicks. Yes. So I love music, and I actually saw Fleetwood Mac in Washington, D.C. when I was living in Baltimore. That was probably around 2013, 14, somewhere in there.
Preschool.
Yeah, I saw Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham in concert, and I think the rest of the crew, but those two were definitely there, in Washington, D.C. And yeah, Stevie Nicks is wonderful. So the breeder actually originally named the dogs after 3 different musicians that are from Arizona. So
that's cool.
Our little girl was Stevie Nicks, and then there was I'm going to block the name. The one brother was Alice Cooper, and then the other brother was Lars, am I saying this right? Lars Lundgren, or he was the one who played with Bruce Springsteen in the East Side Group, or East Street Band is what I should say. Okay. So those are the 3 siblings of this particular breed, a Coton de Tulare.
So I have a question that I ask everybody here. Only about 2 people have named an album I've actually listened to.
Okay.
That would be Dr. Johnson, our amazing vice principal. Shout out to her. She named Beyonce. So you know the question where it's like, oh, if you had to go to a desert island, you can only bring one thing with you. What would it be? And everyone says a boat, even though you can't say a boat because that's cheating.
Right.
I'm a strong believer in that and believing that taking a boat is cheating, people. But if you could bring one album to a deserted island for the rest of your life, and that is the only one you can listen to, what would it be?
Oh, jeez. This is going to take a while for me to go through the Rolodex.
You have 3 minutes and 14 seconds.
3 minutes and 14 seconds. So if I were to take an album, I'm trying to think of who I listened to over and over again. And it's got to be a specific album.
It has to be a specific album. You cannot make your own.
And I can't say a box set. A box set doesn't work, does it?
A what?
A box set? You don't know what a box...
I feel like I should know what I do.
Maybe you should know. A box set is when, for example, the Led Zeppelin box set had... I think it was Led Zeppelin that had one. No, Pink Floyd had one. And it was about 4 different discs of all of their best songs.
Oh, greatest hits.
Well, but a greatest hits could be one disc and be 18 songs. Yeah. But a box set is more like 4 to 8 discs of their entire collection. and I had the Pink Floyd version of that when I was growing up. But in terms of, geez, who would it be? Who would it be? You know, I would venture to say, under the circumstances, I might say like a Billy Joel disc, because Billy Joel runs the gamut in terms of kinds of music that he makes.
You got to pick one. You don't get to say, oh, I pick a Julie.
Oh, I've got to pick one.
gotta
I
pick
can't say
one.
his greatest hits.
No, you have to pick one album. I kind of cheated because I said Homecoming by Beyonce one time.
Yeah.
But that's the live album
Okay.
for at Coachella, so it
Okay.
doesn't really count.
Okay. Jeez, this is so tough. Okay. Another album that I listen to over and over again, and that's only an album, would be Coldplay, Viva La Vida.
Oh.
And that was around 2000. That album came out around 2013, and my wife and I loved that. So I would say I could probably do well on that one album. Yeah, different times. But that was probably what I listened to most recently over and over again.
So I change my answer each time we do this because I can't say the same thing over and over again because otherwise it gets boring. I didn't think about my answer for this. Oh, well, I went to Vegas. I went to a Melanie Martinez concert, so I picked the After School EP. Oh, that doesn't count. It's not an album. Never mind. I choose Crybaby by Melanie Martinez for this lovely segment, which is one I... Do you even know who that is?
No.
That's okay. That's okay. I saw her in Vegas, which was pretty cool, which is why I was
That
not in
is
your class
cool.
Friday.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough. Well, now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know.
I misbook it, guys.
You did misbook it, and that was going to be the review that you asked for, and I guess that's
Yeah.
what you deserve. Is
Okay, yeah.
you know,
I asked
that's
it
your penalty
I
for
asked
not
about
showing
it
up.
Monday.
And then yes, I had it available to you, but I guess not.
Yeah.
You know, Las Vegas takes the cake. Actually, speaking of Las Vegas, a close second
Mhm.
would be maybe a U2 album.
Okay.
Like I listened to when I was going to the beach in around 2001.
Oh,
I
I
would-
did not exist.
You didn't exist, but I
No.
remember this. I was living with 3 other guys in D.C., and I would go to the beach. They convinced me.
Where have you lived?
So
So far, I got
got-
Baltimore, I got Arizona, you got DC.
D.C. But Baltimore and
didn't you
D.C. are very close.
Well, yeah, but didn't you say you lived in Spain for a little bit?
Well, yeah, but that was just those were only months at a time.
Oh, okay.
This is an extended. So I lived in D.C. for 3 years, and my buddy decided that he was going to head up north to go to not that far north, but to go to not Cape May, but Jersey Shore.
Jersey
Right,
Shore.
so we would go to and from. We would drive that 3 to 5 hour trip like every weekend during the summer, and so I always actually during that summer I only did one summer, and that summer I listened to in particular the U2 album All That You Can't Leave Behind, and that was a
Maybe
great.
My dad's listened to that. I listened to it with the car with my dad.
That's a great album,
Mhm.
over and over again, over and over again,
Over and
the
over.
whole way. So, great songs.
Great songs. Alrighty, as we're running out of time because I have to actually go to his class.
Seriously, you can't skip twice in a row.
Oh, I want to go back to Vegas. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, or in this case, listening for this segment. Once again, out of request from Senior Johnson, we have a little This is our little radio segment, which I kind of like. It's something new. Thank you so much for joining us.
My
today.
pleasure.
And thank you guys so much for listening. See you next time. Adios.
Adios.